It's just a silly little block game. You should be doing something that propels you forward in real life. This world doesn't exist. It's just a set of disembodied ones and zeros stored on your hard drive. You don't even understand what it physically is. These thoughts pop up in my head when I spend a lot of time here. And this world has been with me for nearly 2 years now. So why do I keep coming back? Well, I don't really know. But probably it's easier to play Minecraft rather than tackle life's big challenges. After all, there are no real consequences in this world. But that is also the beauty of it. There are no real consequences, or pressure to do things in any particular way. You inevitably play and create in any which way you want. That also means that your world is a direct reflection of your personality, an expression of you. As humans, I think our deepest desire is to be seen and understood by others. So that is probably what I'm trying to do in this video. Share me with you. Or maybe I'm being a bit too dramatic about this. It's probably more like a child showing their drawing to their parents. So, I hope you like my drawing. Hey fellas, it's me, your favorite up-and-coming Minecraft content creator. I'm just standing here with my only friend on this server. It's only me and him, and these horses, and I'm just taking him for a little walk here. So I just want to go through the backstory of this world with you guys a little bit, and tell you how it came up. And the story is that we were a not even so young anymore group of adults with responsibilities, some more than others, and we were reminiscing back to our childhoods when we would play Minecraft in school and eat candy that we had used all of our money on and not worry at all. So we wanted to reignite that spark, and of course we started a Minecraft world because of it. I think I was very enthusiastic about playing on this server. So I sunk in a lot of time into this world. Since I also played on this world while I was traveling for a bit, it became this space that I returned to while things around me were quite chaotic. And in this world I just felt like I could kind of forget about those things when I needed to. And it really served me in a great way. And now when I walk through it, again, I'm sure you can relate to this if you play Minecraft yourself, that it's such a joy to just walk through your world and see everything you have created. As I've grown older, you realize so much that this game has so much potential to evolve with you, because it is a sandbox survival game, right? So your creativity and imagination is really what sets the boundaries for what you can create, and in that way it really does, it's timeless in that way. So you can return to it and you can set the bar higher and higher, and as an adult I think you have more patience with your builds compared to when you were younger. And of course you also have like a, I don't know, fully developed brain and stuff that usually helps. Now, I've tried to record this, like, a terrible amount of times. I just want to go through the backstory of this world quickly. It appears that I am incapable of producing coherent sentences without huge spaces between. And I know this is definitely not a new concept. I'm gonna start a Minecraft Let's Play. I'm gonna become famous. Now, if you wonder why there are tilled soil, why there's tilled soil here, and if I then choose, I really sunk into this world while my friends left me. My brain is sticky and mushy and not working very well. Goodbye. So, where do we begin, guys? You saw... Well, I guess we can begin with where we're building right now. Where are we, guys? Where are we? We are at X coordinate. No, we are in a cherry grove biome on top of a huge mountain, looking down upon the lands that I am trying to show you right now, but I'm not doing a very good job. But the lands are over there, trust me. We started in this biome because we settled in this biome because it was fairly new at that point, and then, well, at least some of us decided to build in this Japanese style. Yeah, I don't know, we didn't really think about it. But I think you saw a couple of buildings in the cinematic. They're all concentrated to basically the same area. And I think we'll start with one of the major ones that is over here. Guys, this is the mud factory. The building itself, I'm not really happy with. It's kind of hard for me to tell what's wrong with this building. I think it just lacks kind of variety, and it's all following the same set of rules that these tough and stone, like scaffolding or skeleton, is on the outside, and the mud bricks and granite are on the inside, and I think it just looks too uniform and not really like a building. But this building actually came very much from my own head, so I knew that I'd watched some BOO video, I think, and he'd built something amazing, and then I thought, of course I will build something amazing as well. And he had built something with arches like this and sort of an open bottom floor, and I thought I want to try doing that. So that's really the only element of this build that I like. Really, I built all of this to cover up what is in fact a functional mod factory. On the inside here we have the interface, the main interface, and I think this actually looks kind of cool with the texturing on the floor, and then we have some mold here because producing mud, it's got to be wet, guys, of course, and there's some mud spilling out and dirt. So the basis of the whole machine is that, I'm sure you know that if you put if you put a water bottle on a piece of dirt, then it turns into mud. So, and you can do that with a dispenser as well. So if you dispense a water bottle onto a dirt block, then it becomes mud. Then I've just set 4 dispensers in a row. So when you just place dirt blocks, and they are pushed to the side, and they are gradually converted by dispensers that are continuously fed with water bottles. I have this little switch up here. You see the mud block up there, and then I have the clay block up there, and that's because if you place one of these clay blocks on top of a block with a dripstone underneath, it kind of drips out the wetness out of it, and it becomes clay after a little bit. So so when I place dirt blocks here, they're pushed along this piston tape here and out into a collecting area where they are just concentrated into a huge blob, and I can have at it with a shovel. And if I then choose clay, it will be pushed out over a different surface where there is dripstone. So enough babbling about this. I think I will best highlight this by showing you how it works. And I have a little dirt in here, so we will start with mud. And what you do is you just stand here and look at this beautiful bright little light. Pretend you're a fly, and you just place your blocks here, and you will your ears will have a pleasurable experience. Moving on from the mud factory, we have probably the main build here, and you saw this in the cinematic as well. This is my huge, way too big pagoda, and I tried to go off of more, I think, Chinese architecture, where they have a lot of dark roofs and red. This red and white color palette, for some reason I thought that's Chinese. There's a lot of depth in this build, or in the walls, and it's actually, I really like this build. First thing I built in this world, believe it or not, so it was pretty painful to gather resources with like iron tools and stuff. The foundation here, with all of the water patterns and stuff, actually came afterwards. I built this whole building on an elevation without planning what would be underneath. And I thought I'll take that later. But now it actually turned out pretty nice, I think. I took some inspiration off of Pinterest, and I found this Japanese, like, stone, very well-structured garden with these very shallow ponds and stone pebbles or stone, different sizes of stones in, and from afar this looks really cool. I think the blue water, especially this blue in the cherry groove, really contrasts well with the redness of this build, and just gives it a really cool look. And I used even more water down here, these even more shallow little, I don't know what you call them, like water runways around these bushes. I think look fantastic, because it looks like the water from up here is running down here. It looks fantastic, guys. It looks absolutely smashing. And these bushes here, I absolutely snagged off of an Etho video, I think. I don't know if he came up with this himself, but I saw them briefly, and then I thought, that looks cool, I'll take that. And the bamboo, of course, I think gives this more of a... I mean, bamboo traditionally is a very eastern... It grows in the eastern... Not hemisphere, I don't know. The eastern part of the world. There are some of these bamboo shoots that I haven't put string on top of them, so like some are just shooting all the way up, and I need to fix that as well. Let's go inside here, shall we? And I know, I have torches everywhere. Looks like garbage. Anyway, I'll find some way to get rid of those. We are met here when we walk in with this grand room that I think looks fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I think this interior is really, the roof here is just looks, I love how it looks. Even though I built it quite a long time ago, I think it looks great. And, you know, it's not very textured. It just uses different levels of depth with different colored blocks, which I think gives it much more of an old school Minecraft look. And then I have these huge yellow screens, bamboo screens that mirror the outside. I want it to look like, you know, these in these royal palaces where you have these very beautiful bamboo screens that you, I don't know, change clothes behind of. The most, you know, the furniture that, of course, the most essential piece of furniture that everyone has, the bamboo screen that you change clothes behind of. I think that looks pretty cool. And the foliage just makes this look ties everything together, you know? And the bamboo in the corners here. But maybe the main feature of this room is probably the waterfall here. It's just a way to get between the different levels of the house. These are my enthusiastic... What do you call them? These are my guests. Or these are my collaborators. We have a... This is a clear collaboration. I'm not housing them here against their will. These are actually here because I needed villagers at some point, so... And I didn't really have a place to put them, and I didn't have the energy to build an entire new, you know, build for villagers, a villager trading hall. So I just had this type of decoration here at first. But then I put them here because I didn't really have a good use for this room otherwise, and I didn't have it didn't have a purpose. So, and that was a shame because it's a very, you know, it's a nice room. Oh man, I'm missing one of those there. And at first I just had them, you know, bare like this, and then I put the trapdoors here. And I just thought, that's amazing. That looks great with just a little face peeping through here. So now, when I'm done trading with them, I just put these down, and they just get their tiny little face is visible here. Now there are some unfinished parts about this build, and that's mainly due to me being lazy. And let's say it's an iconic part of my building style that it can't be finished, and there must be some scaffolding around. So this hole, for example, it's believe it or not, it should not be a hole, or that hole. And you have to like jump to get over here. That's not supposed to be there. And this leads to, well, the bamboo farm that it shouldn't be visible here. I didn't think when I placed this, I just built it. And it leads to nothing. But I have plans for what's going to stand there. Now, if we continue up here, use this waterfall, handy waterfall, that I need to replace somehow, because now you need to sort of continuously rotate to swim up straight in it, or do that, which is kind of annoying, so I need to fix that. But we get up here to the second level, where we have much the same interior. It's just on a smaller scale. But what we do have that I think is really nice, I was so satisfied with how well these storage chests fit into this room. We also have a little, now it's a fully manual storage room. Here you have to use your hands here. But where you don't have to use your hands, you have to use your feet, is here. Ah. Nice. I think this is pretty satisfying. Just have these switches and the lights go on. So that's pretty great. Now we have some balconies as well. And if you wonder why I have tilled soil here, is because I was actually growing all of my crops up here before I created a little farm that we'll get to. Which, I mean, it looked kind of cool, but not very efficient. So yeah, here we can stand and look down upon our pathetic neighbors. Anyway, so these balconies are also, yeah, it's not entirely finished up here. I was thinking a long time about adding some sort of redstone thing between the top floor there and here, because there's some space there, but I'm not sure what, and I'm not gonna build it until, you know, it strikes me that, oh, this is what I want to build. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, but it's gotta be finished. And we have another balcony, so we can look down upon the other lands here, and the fantastic, beautiful mud factory over there. Here, of course, unfinished, but the plan here, I was thinking about adding sort of some type of elevator that's more satisfying to use than this one. And quicker, because this thing is kind of annoying to use. Here's a stumpy little balcony. let's continue up here, shall we? Now, when we go up here, we get to the seriously unfinished parts. Here, I haven't really decided what I want to build. I thought I'd have some enchantment room or something up here, but it's hard to fit things in when you have this huge waterfall in the middle. And I haven't finished the roof, and I have the beautiful scaffolding. Now, I like that I have these little things that sound so nice when you walk on them. I don't know what they're called, crystals? Amethysts? Because then it's more clear that you're on a different floor. And I used to have a portal here as well, which was pretty cool to just walk through it here. It looked pretty cool, even though you can't really see it from the ground because it's pretty far up. But then pigmen would walk in and out here, and that wasn't great, you know? So here we can look down upon the lands with a greater angle than on floor 2. That is power, my friends. It's how much you have to tilt your head to look down upon something. Yes, that is it. And here is the second balcony. Well, I think we unfinished. Yes. I think we can continue downwards, because with every house in Minecraft, there is, of course, an underground that seems to look nothing like the architecture above. And that's certainly the case here. This cave here, the farm cave, actually started out with this bamboo farm right here, encrusted in the earth here. And the bamboo farm, it's just a huge automatic farm that I decided to build because I wanted bamboo, guys. Makes sense, right? And I didn't think where I put this bamboo farm. I just built it because I was so tired of overthinking where I wanted to put things and the layout of things. So I just put it here, and then now it's become this organic cave. And I actually, this little pond here with the Japanese little garden stone you can look through, I think they look really nice. And the little I don't know, like scrawny tree here. But now I have to deal with the consequences of this bamboo farm being entirely out of place. So I don't know if I want to take it away or whatever, but I think I will figure out a way to keep it here. If we move on to the next farm, we have this fella right here. The crustiest guy of them all. I'm not sure what his name is. He hasn't gotten a name yet. This guy is actually so anonymous and crusty and camouflaged that when I asked a couple of friends if they could tell what it was, they actually didn't see anything, which was strange. I mean, maybe you become blind to these things when you are the builder, but I thought it was kind of obvious. I mean, he has eyes, a nose. Sure, you can't really see it very well from the front, but he even has teeth, guys. His root teeth. He doesn't have very great oral hygiene. But anyway, this man right here, that's gonna get a name. He is the protector of the pumpkins and the melons. And he is holding each automatic farm that is here, the pumpkin and the melon here. So, and these are just regular automatic pumpkin farms, you know, this checkered patterns with observers on top that detect when the plants update. So when they grow a pumpkin or a melon, see right there. And then there are pistons around that just break the block. And then there is a minecart underneath that picks everything up and transports it up back here. And he is holding these farms with his grubby root hands. If you want to take part of the natural gift that is pumpkins and melons, you have to negotiate with with this man right here. You have to, like, shake his hand. And you can choose to shake whichever hand you want. You can shake both if you want. So let's shake both here, right? And you will receive his beautiful gift that he so gracefully vomits onto you. Now you may choose to only receive one of the gifts, or the other, or both. It's toggleable like that. And if you don't want any more, you just have to shake his hand again. Now we have to thank him. Thank you very much. And we will put this lovely, lovely gift in this chest right here. Yeah, I tried to decorate around here with a little growing pumpkin and melons around here. And the frogs are, I guess they are decorations. They give that good ambient noise. The frog noise is just, it makes things feel damp and swampy, which is nice. But they're not supposed to be here. They're from some frog adventures I went on before when I was going to make get some frog lights. So now they just ended up here. And the scaffolding, classic, guys. Classic scaffolding. He likes it though. This frog, he's enjoying himself up there. Now, the rest of this cave, I was thinking first that I would make a bunch of these sort of faces that represent different forms. So this is just the outline of another face I built. Like, I thought this room, maybe these would be mythical creatures or like gods or something that had to do with some type of harvest. So this was the pumpkin and melon god, whatever. And then I googled up some Chinese or Japanese or Eastern mythological or religious figures. I couldn't really build them in Minecraft and I didn't find very much. So it just ended up being this face here that kind of looks like a Norse Viking or something. And you were supposed to walk in through the mouth here and then get to more farms, but there's nothing behind here. Sorry guys, it seems that I have not gone through puberty yet. Anyway, yeah, he is unfinished and I'm not sure what I'm gonna put back here. And we also have this bubble elevator, which I think looks pretty cool. It's this cave structure that's dripping down here. And if you walk into it, switches the block to soulstone and it shoots you up into the main room here. With this, well, if you are too lazy to swim up, then you can take this one. Now, I think the most interesting part of this room is this place right here. And there's a little hint here, or some, like, I guess you could say foreshadowing. This industrial looking door here, and some piping. There's some water dripping down, and some water running off here, and a couple of hay bales. I wonder what's behind this ominous door, guys. So let's take a step onto these pressure plates, and it opens up into this room, which is, well, I suppose you can see it in front of you. It's my farm room. And this took quite a while to build. It doesn't fit at all with the organic theme we have in here. But I just wanted to build with copper, it seems. That was what I wanted to do when I built this. This is a pretty cool farm actually. It's not entirely automatic. Now you can build these automatic crop farms with villagers, but I wanted to make this interactive. And I wanted to make it move and fun to use. We have these huge pumps here. I can actually show you guys how it works now that all the wheat is grown up. So we have these two pumps here. We have the piping running out from either pump. Now these, there's actually not supposed to be water in them right now. This is what it's supposed to look like. I have to fix that. But yeah, so there are these empty pipings and the big pumps here. And then these walls are just decorative. But there's a lot of copper and stuff here. And now we have this huge button, right? And a block of sand here for some reason. And I wonder what happens if we press it. We try. The electricity starts. The pumps start pumping. The water runs out from the piping and out onto the crops. Break them all. And then the crops run down into these water streams. And they are picked up by hoppers. And underneath there are some minecarts that are undocked. And they go and pick up all the crops and deliver them back here, where there is an automatic sorting system that sorts all the crops and the seeds. So yeah, I think I really like how this looks, how it gives the pumps power and how they're pumping. And then when we are done, we press the button again. We get another hoe, because I am too lazy to fix a more satisfactory solution to that. And now we can just choose whatever we want. If we want wheat, and we walk around and plant everything. So I think this is really cool. I love farms where you have to use them and they're not just automatic, except for the bamboo farm. But even that I think is a little bit boring. And I love how it looks when you make things move and seem technical and like they're working. So that's what's in this room. And I still, to this day, I really like it. And when I built it, I was very proud of it. But now I'm not as proud, but I still really like it. And these lights here, I have to find some way. Now they're just hanging in literally nothing from chains. So we'll have to find a good solution for that. Anyway, we leave that behind us. And we continue on downwards. Now down here, this is probably the main level that I use. And if we walk towards this direction first, we're met with this organic little cave here. And this is just where all the bamboo from the automatic bamboo farm is collected. And here it's also automatically crafted to the blocks of bamboo. And yeah, you can see all of these chests are completely full. And this little lever here just decides if these blocks should be crafted or not. So I usually just have this on. But I think this is, it's quite a nice little room. I wanted it to look overgrown and like it has to do with bamboo, right? To the right here, we have this room, which this is something I was very proud of when I had just built it. It is an automatic smelter. I actually got to see if I have something that I can smelt here. You can see here we have this little coal strewn around on the floor, and if we walk onto this one, we are pushed up and we can reach this minecart and put our stone in. We have the light guiding us to where we want to look. And when we have put our stuff in there, we press this button and the fire starts. And we are cooking, guys. Now we're cooking. We're cooking with gas, not gas. We're actually cooking with bamboo because there is a minecart running between the bamboo collection system here and this farm, so which continuously just tops up the furnaces here, so I never have to refuel this furnace. And I love how the fire here starts when it's cooking. I love incorporating those sort of build stony things. Yeah, it's already smelted up here, and when you're done, press this button again. The fire stops, pick your stuff up, and the minecart returns. So that's what this room is. There's nothing more here. Now you remember I said that I don't use my storage room upstairs. That is because I built this thing. Now I like this organic cave. This really fits the vibe. And if you walk in here, we have the sanctuary. And we're met with this huge wall of chests and lights and this petrified tree. And now this is an automatic multi-item sorter that's made by, I think he's called Maizuma. It's a really complicated system. I barely understand it. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to make this myself or come up with it myself. But it's very, very useful, and it serves me very well. And there's a lot of space, which is nice. Now, I do like the decoration I've done around here. If you don't look up, where we have, watermelon. I like the natural feel to this, and the blue flowers and everything, and the particles in the air. Makes it feel very, very cozy. But with how useful, even though this build is very useful, the storage room is extremely useful, and I won't take it away. I like using it, but it feels very unsatisfying to use it to me, because I know I haven't created this. It's not from my own brain, you know? So remembering that in future builds, I want to really try to stick to building stuff myself, because that's when you can really come back to the builds over and over, like the farm upstairs. Then I continuously come back to it, and I just feel more proud of it. All right, let's continue on out of this place here, and now we get to this place here. It's not entirely finished. I have some cacti back here and some standardized moss farm from a YouTube tutorial that is extremely useful. But yeah, no, I'm need to fix up this place. But this hole here I really like, and I'll show you why. So I can do this and fly out like a bird, a free flying bird type, not one of those grounded ones like they have in New Zealand or something. Now that I'm perched up here on my little also YouTube tutorial iron farm that gives me enough iron so that I could probably literally build entirely out of iron blocks for the rest of my life on this earth. But it's also one of those builds that I just built and didn't think about it. I was tired of planning, and so I just built it here, and I wanted it to be close to the pagoda so it would be active a lot. And now I am suffering the consequences once again, my friends. But it served me very well, and it's actually given me a ton of not only iron, of course, like all of these chests, but actually bone blocks as well, because I put in composters, so all the flowers are automatically composted into bone meal and then crafted to bone blocks, and it's giving it's my main source of bone meal, actually, which is pretty cool. Anyway, here we get sort of an overview of there. Can you see that guy? There he goes, stealing my goddamn dirt blocks again. See, look at this mess he's made. It's everywhere, dude. This looks like a... yuck. I'll deal with you later. But from here we can see a lot of unfinished stuff. So, well, this right here is my first attempt at terraforming, because I wanted to raise the mountain up so that this foundation rests on it, so the foundation doesn't go all the way down to the ground. But yeah, so I did this without I didn't plan in creative. I didn't use Lightmatica or anything. It's entirely freehand, and that you can see that for sure. And so I'm gonna tear this down, and to the right here, and this is actually the backside of Mr. Krusty Pumpkin and Melon Man. That's his behind, so to say. And now this is my second attempt at terraforming, and it's also freehand, but I think it turned out a lot better. and it might be better viewed from down here. I was looking at some real-life picture of some... I literally Googled I think, Japanese mountain, overgrown mountain or something. For some reason. So this is a Japanese mountain, guys. It's not any mountain, it's a Japanese one. It speaks the language. So I can't communicate with it, but anyway, that's why I wanted to have these cracks with moss running through and leaves here. And I think the texturing turned out quite nice with the tuff creating the shadows. And then there is this hole here in the earth, and since I've been working on this video for such a long time, I've made progress while I've been recording it. So the inside here that you can barely see, I'm not even going to show you. There's some spoilers in there for an upcoming video that I'm planning, but don't tell anyone. I don't want to create any expectations. So I will show you this room in a brief little flashback that will bless your eyeballs right about now. This is the bottom of what I plan to be an elevator and a little room here. So now it looks like something out of a children's color book. We have the bubble elevator in place here, so that works. And this, you just get rid of this. We have I have a little station here where I'm planning to put speed potions. So you can just walk up here, step here, and it splashes you in the face. And here you can just very easily refill. And I have this little these little dudes are like running in place. I thought that looks cool. And it makes that nice noise when the bookshelf is activated by redstone. Makes that cool noise. I have plans for this room as well to make it look a lot better. And that's why all the shulker boxes are here. This is kind of where I've left off. So yeah, but if I go up here, this is a huge just bubble elevator that takes me up. If I press this button here, all the water blocks are taken away except for this one, and they are put back. And the block down here is also shifted. It's switched between just a regular frog light and this what's it called, soul sand. So the last block in the sequence here, I love how that is. So this isn't a bubble column block, so you actually get out. I think it's so cool. Wasn't that a lovely little flashback? And now it has turned dark. And I think to continue this little tour, it's actually best viewed when it's a bit darker. So this path here, I wanted to make it very enchanted feeling and natural as well. And so that's why I used some of this. I built some big boulders here to transition into the cave. And then I wanted to use this blue nether magicalness. I have the patches of those interspersed, and then some moss, and also these patches of pink just strewn all over the place, which I think makes this pink color contrast very well to everything else. And I built these little light posts, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted to have them which shade of copper I wanted to have them. So now I just let them oxidize fully, and which looks kind of nice, but it blends in maybe a bit too much with the blueness. So I might change that. And then we have a big ass tree in front here, which you can't really see, and it's not finished yet, so maybe that's a good thing that you can't see it. So this path leads down here. I have some forest floor there as well. Texture. This path leads around here and around this building, which is, I don't know if you can tell, or maybe I'll let you guess. It's kind of hard to guess. I'll just explain it to you guys. This is actually my most recently finished. It's not entirely finished visually. I haven't built everything I want around it to make it look nice, but mostly it's actually finished, which is I know. Surprising. But yeah. So this here is supposed to be a pump, if you couldn't tell that. And I have some lights down here, just making it more visually appealing, not appealing, making it feel more alive is the word I'm looking for. And there are some, I knew his friends would come. We might have to sleep to get rid of the zombies. But there is some water inside here, some bubble columns. So the potions are brewing here. When you brew them, they come up and are transported with water through this piping, and then they're collected in here. And we'll get to that. But I think this looks pretty cool. I'm not super happy with the shading, but it's very hard to shade with just fences because there aren't very many options to choose from, or you can't gradually fade it very well if you're building with spruce and dark oak. But I think I think all the scaffolding around, the wooden scaffolding that I've built, looks pretty cool. The build itself here, the house itself, of course it starts. Okay, guys, I give up. I'm going to sleep. Much better. Now, this build, this is also I took some inspiration off of the internet. And I tried to build a Japanese, again, keeping in theme with the builds up there, because since the cave builds, oh my god, these grounds are dangerous, my friends. Where should I put this flower? There. This build, I wanted to keep in theme with the pagoda up there, because since building that cave and how much the themes and styles don't match with each other, I've realized that I need to sort of stick to one theme a bit more to make things more coherent when you walk through the world. So here I try to make this an actual, with a more Japanese, Chinese, rural looking style, so it fits in with the pagoda up there. It's being engulfed by this blue magicalness, as you can see. And that is because I got the idea before that what if this potion brewing hut is sort of either corrupting or mutating the lands around them with the stuff they're pumping out here, or maybe if they are extracting like the magicalness from this nature around here into their potions. One of the two. I thought that would be really cool. So that's why there's a bunch of blue stuff around here, if you're wondering. But yeah, the build itself I think looks quite nice. It's pretty basic. There are just 3 blocks here, but there's a lot of texturing going on. And there are some different colors of the walls, which I think looks cool. It looks like these are more recent additions of the building, and it just makes it have more visual interest. And I textured this build a lot more. So now, oh yeah, and the tree up here, this is actually the first custom tree I pretty much ever built. And I think the shape of it looks really nice. I built it with this perspective, like down here. But it's kind of bald. It's balding. What do you say? It has some, it's thinning. The leaves of the hair of the tree is thinning. The color is the most brown color you can imagine. It's like the poopiest brown. So I'll have to retexture it, but the shape I like, and I want to keep that. And it has some more boulders and stuff down here. If we continue in, you can enter this building through different ways, and the cellar down here, which I really like the look of. You can see the pump over here and the lights and the bubbling stuff going on there. But the reason why you would want to come down here is because you have the netherwort farm down here. And I think it just makes so much sense that we have this, you know, disgusting ass cellar with their mushrooms growing, and it's damp and yucky and it probably smells bad. And then you have these things growing in these barrel looking things. It just came together, you know. But my favorite part of this cellar is just how satisfying it is to use this farm. And what you do is you press the button, trapdoors flip up, and the blocks are pushed back and forth. So the netherwort breaks on top, and then there are hoppers underneath these blocks. And since soul sand is not an entire block, it's the same as mud, so you can put hoppers underneath, and items will be picked up. So if I throw one here, it disappears. And the items are automatically dispensed and put into this chest here. So there is the rocket. And I think you need 12 wort to replant, and then you just go and do that. So I love that farm, guys. It's so... Some of the most simple builds are the most enjoyable. And I made it intentionally pretty small because you usually don't need a lot of netherwort. So now I have a reason to come here even more often. And that's really what's down here. There's more disgusting growth here. And this is from all when I dug out the hole back here, which we will get to. Here, this is just a decorative little space with a barrel and so on. But that's pretty much what's down here. And I freaking love this room. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue up into the actual build, which, of course, my friends, of course, it is not entirely finished. This room here, I took some inspiration, can you believe it, off of the internet. And that inspiration was of pictures of wine cellars or breweries, medieval breweries or medieval apothecaries even. All of these archways I built and the pots hanging. And then this room is just entirely visual. We have this bookshelf here. A little storage if you ever want to store your potions. I put these here looking like grapes and a lot of barrels with these taps, or these, I mean, tripwire hooks, but they look like taps. And then a lot of hanging plants and stuff, herbs, you know, that you can flavor the wine with or whatever you're brewing here. And we have this guy who you can talk to, and he really likes talking to people because he is all alone down here for most of the time. You can talk to him, trade with him, and maybe even have some of his watery soup that he seems to be cooking here. Which, I mean, he doesn't have much to work with, of course. This is pretty much what he has. He seems like he's having a good time. I mean, he's better off here than he has 2 blocks to walk on. The guys up there only have 1, so you're a pretty fortunate guy, aren't you? Now, the pump is, you can see through here. It opens up. And then we get to probably the most, definitely the most important part of this build, which is these beautiful wine barrels. No, I'm kidding, it's in there. But these barrels are just decorations, and I think they look really cool. We have some, it was made to look like there's some wine that's spilled out on the floor, and some random shit hanging from the ceiling to make it look more like something. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be, but it's there at least, and that's what matters. Enough about these barrels, guys. The whole reason why I built all of the stuff outside and that whole house and everything is actually this room down here. This brown, damp wine cellar, so it fits in with the theme of the rest of the build. It's my latest finished project that I am just so happy with. This is just, I'm just overjoyed with how this turned out. It's an automatic or semi-automatic potion brewing system. So I'm gonna explain the interface of this. The redstone behind, I might show you a little bit, but I think if I tried to show you all of it, which I would love to do, by the way, I'm going to become an incel. No, and then I will show you with a little. I'll show you the system working a bit later, but we'll start with the interface, and we begin here with this wall, and the first button here is the on button, the system start button. The second part here is the amount potion selector, because I wanted to be able to choose. You don't always want a ton of potions of the same variety, right? So to be able to choose the amount is helpful. So now we have 3 lights here, and we have 3 sets of brewing stands over here. So each light is hooked up to a timer, a redstone timer. So the length of the redstone signal when I press this button is augmented when depending on which amount, how many of these lights are active. And so each timer, this one corresponds to the right amount of ingredients and bottles for those 3 brewing stands here. So 9 potions. And then the second one for 6 brewing stands, and the third one for 9, and so on. And I have put these little chimes behind here to make it more interactive to press this button, and more like spiking your dopamine or something. The next part here is the input for water or empty bottles and blaze powder. And this lever decides what will be transported to the brewing stands over there. So in regular circumstances, when you want to brew potions, you would have it pointing towards water bottles, and you would have water bottles be dispensed into a minecart down here and transported over. But if you want to refill fuel in the brewing stands, you can do that as well, and then just start the system, but skip adding any ingredients, and the system will run dry, so to speak, and just transport the fuel. And this barrel is where you put your empty water bottles or your blaze powder, and the light here tells you if you have bottles or not in the system. So the bottles are stored empty, because if you would store them full, you'd have to have a lot of space. So the bottles are filled through a dispenser. So empty bottles are put in stored in a dispenser down here, and then they are, as many as you need are dispensed when you press the button, depending on which timer you chose here. And in the barrel you can put both blaze powder and bottles, and they will be automatically sorted and stored down here. Wow, let's continue. Okay, we will skip this barrel for now, because first I need to explain this for that barrel to make sense. This is the ingredient selection panel, and the redstone behind this panel is actually something I am super proud of. It was so satisfying when I made it, because it's essentially AND gates behind here. So when I press a button here, a piston behind here spits out a block, so that the redstone signal from the on button is allowed to travel through whichever one of these you have activated. So that allows you to choose which potions you want to brew, right? And so you have all the ingredients here, most of them. I don't have all of them, that's why some of these item frames are empty. And then I have the augmenters back here. And the reasoning for the small separations here is that some potions, or most potions, actually need the right order of ingredients, right? So I have another minecart, a separate one from this minecart, which runs behind here and picks up these items in order, so that they arrive in order in the brewing stands, so that you get the right stuff you wanna have, you know. And most potions start with nether, or what's this called? The warts. Are they the warts? Yeah. Man, my mind has gone completely blank on what this is. The grapes, guys. Most potions want the grapes first. So you can press whichever buttons here you want to press, and you will have that ingredient be delivered to the system when it starts. And you can, yeah, you can choose whatever you want. So now this would be an extra long splash speed potion. And you can also turn them off like this, and nothing would happen. So that's what these buttons do. And they are also automatically reset when you start the system, so you don't have to manually go and reset them all the time. The lights up here just tell you if you have that ingredient back here, because they're all stored in a dispenser back here, the ingredients. And this light tells you if it's on, then you have the ingredient. If it's off, then you don't. It's pretty handy. And now we get to this barrel here, and this barrel, this is just an input for ingredients. So you can put whatever ingredient in here that, well, should be in there, and then it will be transported back here and stored in a... Bro, I'm like having a stroke or something. Anyway, I'll try again. You put the ingredients you want to store behind here in this barrel. It will be dispensed and transported back to an item filter. That's what the word I was looking for back here. And it will be automatically sorted and stored in dispensers back here for when you use the system. So that's everything you need to know about this. I might as well briefly explain this as well. These are just visual cues. So they tell you there's a block switcher here when you start the system, and it starts a timer down here which blocks the collection hoppers so that the bottles, when they're delivered to the brewing stands, they don't just immediately flow through. When this timer is active, then it switches the block underneath here to soul sand. This becomes a bubble column, and the lights behind here, the copper bulbs behind here, light up. So that just tells you that the system is working. This is the chest where the bottles end up. After a while, they travel back through this big pump on the outside and down, and are collected in this chest where you can just manually take the potions out, or you can actually put a shulker box here as well, like that, and then just open it. And now it seems like I had a couple of potions down there. So then you open it, that allows the items to travel into it, and you can just take them out like this. And I actually didn't think about that. 9 brewing stands makes exactly, or fills exactly 1 shulker box. So the full amount fills exactly 1 shulker box. Definitely planned that, guys. Absolutely. But it turned out great. Now I think I'm gonna show you the system in action, right? So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy. Alright, my potions have been brewed. My funky little brewskis. Time to collect them. So they're all here. And now I can just put my shulker box there. If I shift click, open it, and they start coming down here. And ain't that nice? There we go. Perfect. Box full of potions. We are pretty much done with showing this place here, so we can move on out here. And it's become dark. I think I have shown you everything I want. This is my tree hole, where I farm trees, so I just put the saplings there, and then I jump down, and I bone meal, and then I just use this bubble column to get back up. So this is going to go, but yeah. And this is the beginning to a new path running through the earth here, which I think looks pretty cool. And the path will run over here. And the build over there, that's not mine. That's built by a friend. So I won't comment on that, because I don't want to say anything. Okay, we are up here. Oh, and we're met by my trusty puppy who's sitting here stoically, not even looking at me. Here you are. I think he's angry at me for not feeding him for 6 months. Now, I would like to bring you along for future plans and future builds that I have been working on. Guys, I have a lot of plans for this build. I have said it many times. What doesn't matter who we are? What matters is our plan. And our plan is to expand this that is behind me right now. I won't tell you what it is, but it has to do with the bubble column underneath. So something little to look forward to in the next video. It's looking like a piece of garbage right now. I promise you, it's going to look very nice when it's done. I want to make this world look nice, guys. That's rule number 1. So here's my set of rules for this world. It's gotta look nice. Number 1. Number 2. It's gotta come from my brain. That's number 2. And number 3. Don't talk about Fight Club. No, I'm joking. But don't rush it, right? So make sure it's nice. Maybe that's rule number 1. Okay, yeah, don't rush it. Take your time and have a great time. And now I just want to thank you for your huge ass patience for getting through this video. I am not used to speaking to the camera this much, so I'm very happy if you've gotten this far through the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I want to wish you just a continued lovely ass day. I want to continue to wish you a lovely continued day, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right. Bye-bye now.